Let's just go for it. You guys want to go for it? Let's do it. All right. Thank you, brother.
Are you mic'd?
I think I'm mic'd. Yay? Oh, fantastic. I don't know if I need this. Let's find out. Hello? Hello? Is that better? Is that okay? It's nice, yeah. I don't have to like, okay. All right. Well, sweet family, thank you so much for coming again. And it's another day of Regen Lab 2026. There's so many beautiful faces here, and I just really want to thank you guys for showing up. It's so important. I've been watching you guys for the past few days, and I have some things that I've seen, and I want to share. And yeah, today's little episode is called New Earth, Old Operating Systems. And it's why good intentions collapse. And so I want to kind of play off what we saw last night with the beautiful Tao Universe and Reiki and Will, in that they showed us an amazing, amazing organizational system, a new earth way of actually creating finance options that are ethical and amazing and beautiful. And we saw some really top level governance, you know, when it comes to like finances and how do we get financing into our project, and how do we actually run our project at a new level of professionalism when it comes to like managing our revenue and our flow. Today's gonna be a little bit different. Where they kind of gave the big overall arc, what we're talking about today is the operating system that might run in. I heard a couple of questions about, is this something that we can use every day on the platform? And where that might not be a daily thing, where you might be managing roles and circles and decisions and all these things at the micro level, or at the major level, this is kind of the intro to what it looks like at the micro level, what it actually looks like at your organizational level. And it's kind of a reality check for anybody who's building what comes next. Because, well, let me talk about it. First, I'd like to start with a little 3-breath opener. So, if you're into it, and if group breathing is not your thing, feel free to opt out, but I invite you to get comfortable, shake your butt. There you go, yeah. Maybe wiggle your head a little bit. And yeah, just, you can close your eyes, you can drop your gaze if you like. I just want to guide us through a couple of breaths here. So, you can start by just taking a few slow, deep breaths on your own pace. Just feel into your body. Thank yourself for arriving. Know that you're arriving perfectly, exactly how you are. You are exactly where you're meant to be. We're all in this together. Feel your energy grounding into your seat, right into your cheekbones. Unclench your jaw. Maybe notice what your tongue is doing. Is your tongue at the roof of your mouth? Maybe you can relax that down to the floor of your mouth. Maybe you can feel your shoulders drop just a half an inch, just a little bit more relaxation. And maybe you can start letting your exhale be a little bit longer than your inhale. And as you exhale, let your shoulders drop just a little bit more. And on your next inhale, feel the room around you. Feel these magical beings around you. Just feel each other's energy through your own body, through your own antennas. And as you exhale, offer one quiet gift to that energy, your focus, your attention. And on your next inhale, choose how you want to participate today. This is about you today. Oh, and as you exhale, remember that your consent is always enthusiastic, informed, and ongoing. You could always take a pass on anything that we present today. You could always step out for air. You could always change your mind. Good, and when you're ready, feel free to open your eyes. Thank you so much for your presence, everybody. Thank you so, so much. Okay, well, I've been inspired by Danny Bell and Reiki last time he presented. Just taking a moment to kind of talk about how we got here. I don't really do this a lot, so I'm just going to run through real quick how I ended up here with you amazing people. So it all started back in the day. I was born in the boogie down 70s in San Francisco in the Tenderloin district. My mother was a runaway, teenage runaway, mentally ill, addicted. And we lived most of our life on the streets. And this gave me a really unique perspective, and it shaped everything that you're about to see here, because I learned that being unsafe, it was a way to kind of tune into my senses and start looking for pattern recognition. And it really started real early. And eventually, in the 70s, there was as things kind of developed, we started getting computers in libraries. So I found a refuge in libraries. And that was my safe space away from gangs and pedophiles and all the things. Like, that was a place I can go for 25 cents an hour. I had a place they wouldn't kick me out at. And I sat there a lot, way before it was cool, So I started really getting interested in systems then. Fast forward, I had a pretty tumultuous life. As I grew up to be a teenager, I eventually went out on my own. I moved out of my mom's street and went on my own street. And during that transition, I became a cage fighter, and I got to see the underbelly of the world. I got to see gambling systems and how people interact with each other at a real visceral, primal level, And I was part of that. I was part of that thing. And then, I got sick of that. One cold winter after being on the streets of Boston. I was born in San Francisco. My mother moved us to Boston. So I'm kind of a bi-coastal ghetto bastard. I've had both of those perspectives as well in the States, And from there, I wanted to get off the streets, so I did something I had no idea I was doing. And please forgive me as well. I joined the military. And I went away and became a Desert Storm veteran. And that was a whole nother system. And that's going to come to life here as you see, all of these things. Like, I've actually lived in a lot of these things. And then when I came home, I decided, no, I'm going to make a family. I'm going to make a family because, well, I was empty inside. I needed something to become codependent on. So I had kids, a whole bunch of them, 4 of them, 4 sons. And I poured all my life into them and had to buy diapers. So I went back to fighting. But I also became a law enforcement officer, because when you go away for the infantry and you learn how to do these horrible things, there's only so many jobs you can have afterwards, right? And this was before technology really took off. Well, that was 5 years in SWAT team and fugitive apprehension. I've seen all these systems, right? So during this whole time, I had a quantum life of also being an entrepreneur, and I had serial entrepreneurship where I was just grinding and trying to figure this thing out, and I'm never going to go back to where I came from and never be like my mom, was my mantra. And so I did some really cool things. I jumped into corporate. I was one of the first generations of, CIOs or director of information technologies and all these things. And so I saw all these systems as well. And it was great. It was a great run. I did good. I pretty much made myself into a multimillionaire and had all the things and my kids, and everything was great, all these things. Eventually I became a single father to my 4 sons, raised them all. So I saw that system, the family systems, And time flies. And eventually, my sons grew up, and my last son turned 18, and I was like, you know what? In the Western world, all right, it's my turn now. I've been a father for 26 years. I've done nothing but this. I'm going to step out and see what's going on. So I started getting ready to leave my life, and I eventually, back in 2012, what happened was this, and this was the catalyst for everything you're about to see here. In 2012, I saw a film. And this is why I love filmmakers like Ian McKenzie, because these documentaries change lives in Village of Lovers. You guys enjoy that the other night, by the way? Badass. Thank you, Ian. It was beautiful. Yeah. So these documentaries change lives. And the one that really got me was one that was put together by Kim and Foster Gamble. Anybody hear of those guys? Thrive. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thrive. Thrive on. Thank you so much. Changed my life. I couldn't believe what I just saw. And I was so inspired. And I was like, wow. Because here's what it was, here's the general stick is that we have all this technology. We've been around for so long. And we know all these things, all these written words and everything. We have all these tools. And the question was, what is stopping humanity from thriving? And the whole concept of thriving was weird to me. I'm like, what does it mean to thrive? Because I grew up in survival mode. I become the master of survival mode. Didn't even know that people can actually thrive, And so it started my quest. So 2012 came through, and I knew there was change coming. So I started liquidating my life right in front of everybody. I gave away millions of dollars worth of stuff. I sold everything at 20% of value. I just needed out. I just was unfulfilled because I worked so hard to earn my seat at the table with the big dogs, and it comes to find out that the food is literally poison. Literally poison at this table. So 2015 came. I finally, after a couple of years of liquidating my life, I set on a van life adventure way before it was cool. And I was out there it was a 1-year adventure. I ended up being out there for 3 years. Well, that led to some amazing, here comes the spiritual awakening thing, rock bottom hit. I couldn't believe what I had just done, and it didn't work out, nothing worked out, and everything was just collapsing and stuff. And I was like, I need to find out who I am, and I need to find a home. So I started traveling. I traveled a bunch of countries. I stayed at a bunch of places, a hippie ranch down in the Keys, a resort over in Jamaica. I went to a little village in Ireland and, hung out there for a little bit in La Hinch, and I didn't find it. Well, eventually, I ended up landing here in Costa Rica. It was about 4 years ago. 5 years ago? Almost 4 or 5 years ago. For the first time, loved it, didn't know why, but loved it. Didn't know I was going to meet all of you here, but I did see that there was a seed of community. There was a seed of new earth. Has anybody seen that on the sign here at Awake? Awake, a seed of new earth. And I was like, I am home, finally, because I've been studying all these systems this whole time, trying to figure out what does it take to really build something regenerative? What does it take what is new earth? I know I'm part of it. What is this thing? So that's kind of how I ended up here today. It was years and years of studying all of these things and trying to figure out my own things to find out what it actually takes to thrive. So that's how I got here. Okay, quick poll. Raise your hand if you want your project to be regenerative. Pretty much everybody. Okay, all right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. One more question. Raise your hand if you feel your project supports building a new earth. Pretty much everybody. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Well, I want to name a pattern that I've seen here. And it's not just here, it's something that repeats a lot. I do a lot of consulting with a lot of I'm a strategic advisor to visionaries, essentially, because we all need help, right? And I've seen this pattern here, particularly in Costa Rica, but because I work with a lot of people all around the world, I work with people in Russia, I've worked with people in Poland recently, I've had a consult with, and I'm seeing the same pattern and the same stories. And it goes like this. Well, it usually starts beautifully, right? A group of friends comes together with real heart. Oh my gosh, let's go build something cool. Let's go do this thing. We're sick of the old system. Let's go, right? There's a shared dream, a piece of land, a sense of destiny. And people move fast. When you find that piece of land, and I know this because everything that I'm about to show you here today, I made all of these mistakes. All of them, Turns out I'm not alone in this thing. But, they sell everything. They raise money. They bring in friends. It's time to recruit for this community. We're going to build something awesome here. And the whole thing is being powered by hope and chemistry, not necessarily by design. And there's no clear rules. It's pretty much, hey, who's around? Okay, Trevor, you're good at this thing. You do that. Joanne, you do this. And Shane, you do that. And we're going to do this thing. And nobody's really accountable because you can't really be accountable without a way to measure these things, right? So the labor becomes invisible. And there's generally no governance system. We just kind of figure it out, hey, let's come together and we're adults. We can figure it out, right? We're all friends, right? Decisions made are conversations through emotions and a lot of times in urgency. What's going on? I don't know. We'll do it this way, right? No regenerative purpose statement. We're going to be talking about that a little bit. Nothing is actually governing the project, just the loudest needs in the moment. And because there's no operating system, the real project leader becomes human trauma. So trauma starts driving the bus a little bit, And we start seeing scarcity, we start seeing control, conflict avoidance, silent resentment, quiet quitting, you know? And at first it looks like community, but now it looks like this is management of emotional fallout. Because essentially, when you're around as long as we've been, you kind of find out we're all unhealed adults walking around, or unhealed 7-year-olds walking around in adult bodies, you know? So we're just all figuring it out. So what I see years later is the same thing over and over and over. The landowners are super stressed, they're going broke, you lost all your friends, everybody's fighting, and now this project is a financial trap. And then the next thing happens, which is the group is stuck hunting for cash buyer, usually at a deep discount, just to escape the pressure. Has anybody heard this story before, anywhere? Raise your hand if you heard a story like this before. Most of us, yeah? Yeah, okay, all right. And here's the tragedy, is that the original vision is pure, it's amazing, but purity does not protect the project. So, why does this keep happening? This is where, when I saw this, I was like, you know, I'm gonna start doing some deep dives. So I dug in real hard, not just with me, but with people who have also done this real hard. And I've taken all of our things and we all put it together. And between our collective wisdom, we came down to these things, which are the top 5 patterns that cause regenerative projects to fail. It's not just communities, it's businesses, it's anything that we're trying to do that's not so extractive, right? These are the top 5 reasons that we see. Reason number 5, burnout and loss of commitment. This is the 5th reason down the line of why these projects fail. Because, you know, having a vision is great, but labor grinds, you know, like showing up every day. I don't have to tell anybody in this room, I'm sure you know. Reason number 4, no shared vision, no shared future, you know? Yeah. Reason number 3, poor governance, power shadows. Power shadows, power. We love power. You know, it's funny, I hang out with Tara and her kids a lot, and I see them fighting over the remote control. Even when nobody wants to change it, they just want to hold the remote control. It just comes from our childhood. Like, we just want to, like, I just want to have this thing, like, it's mine. It's like Byron in the soil, you know? My precious, you know? It's just who we are, it's cool. Reason number 2, financial fragility. Yeah, there's a big trend of big, beautiful hearts that have done a thing or two in the past that step into roles and step into things, but maybe they don't have that business acumen, you know, and if they did, maybe they don't have it anymore in a post-AI economy. Everything's changed, and especially with New Earth, regenerative things we're gonna learn about, everything's changed. Any guess for the number 1 reason? Anybody? Yeah? Interpersonal conflict! Interpersonal conflict! Oh my gosh, interpersonal conflict. Once again, you know, wounded 7-year-olds walking on adult bodies. Nobody gave us a manual on life. So we end up dealing with 4 levels of conflict. There's intrapersonal conflict, like me, you know, I get, you know, self-sabotage and all these things, right? And then the interpersonal conflict level, the intergroup conflict level, and gosh forbid, the interorganizational conflict level. So conflict is the number 1 reason why these things fail. And the good news is that this is all preventable. And it doesn't take a massive amount of personal healing. It's still preventable. We're going to talk about it. We're going to give some hacks today. You know, and part of that is when purpose governs and roles become clear, decision-making becomes clean, everything becomes coherent, labor becomes visible, trauma stops being the CEO. And that's exactly what we're here to explore today. What can that look like? And, you know, I just want to say that these patterns are not symptoms. It doesn't mean that we're bad or unconscious people or bad leaders or this or that. This is all normal. Failure is part of this process. We've never done this before, at least that we remember, of what we're about to do. We're creating a new world together. You know, it's messy. Anybody who makes pancakes? All right, all right. What's your first pancake look like? Is it all pretty and look like, you know, something from Denny's, or is it like sloppy and burnt and stuff? It takes a little while, you know, that first pancake's always messy. It might taste good still, but, you know, it takes a little adjustment sometimes. Too much heat, maybe some more lube, whatever the case is, right? So, And basically, it just means that the operating system that we're working on is just incomplete. It's not a personal failure. This isn't anybody's bad. This is just what it is, right? We're going through it all together. I made all these mistakes myself. Now, here's what I did. I'm 35 years in technology. I've been working with AI for a long time, but I don't use it to like make recipes. I actually make like agent teams to build agent teams to build agent teams. That's kind of how meta I am, you know. So I've visited my agent team here a couple of days ago, and I looked at all 19 responses. Thank you guys so much for everybody who put in that intake form. And I got 7 shocking facts about what we saw here. Unbiased from, from AI. And there's no names in this, it's all anonymized. If you see your words, just know that you're seen, you know. Okay. The number 7th, top 7th commonality is that very few people can name what they're building. And across all the intake forms, many describe the activities that they're doing, the feelings, the struggles, but almost nobody really, and it's not to say that you can't, but nobody really articulated a strong, testable why. Why do we exist, right? So, something to see, all information. Number 6, common thread. People want systems. They're asking for them directly. Here's some quotes. Designing systems at work. You know who you are. Creating a type of routine or coherence. Yeah, important. Need to get more clarity. Thank you, that person. And common communication frameworks. Super important. We need these things, right? And you know, this again piggybacks off of Will and Reiki's presentation last night about how important structure is and how important it is to balance that structure. And thing number 5, trend number 5, resource scarcity is not just financial, it's psychological. It's in the room. It's in me. I got it. We all got it, right? Feeling of scarcity, bootstrapping, uphill battle. Trend number 4. Trend number 4. Decision making is a chronic pain point. It is hard to make decisions with humans, especially when we all have our perspectives and our egos and our self-worth things, you know, like at the core of all the things, all the coaching, all the mentoring I've ever done, it always comes down to this. All of our wounds come down to this one version of this. It's some version of, I'm not worthy. We all have it. Everything that we have that ails us, in my opinion, comes from this thing, right? So, yeah, you know, it's really, really hard to make decisions when we're fighting with our egos and we're trying to prove our self-worth all the time. I know I've done it a lot in a former life. Common thread number 3, control and spiritual bypassing are being named explicitly. It's a thing. Trend number 2, founder bottlenecks are forming or are formed, and you guys know it. You guys know it. Some of the things, CEO type duties too long. Oh, it's a thing. You'll know it. The more you get to know me, you'll know why I don't like these, like, you know, overarching, huge things. Because, like this next person says, it's just too much for me to do. And I want to let go of control. And all of our stewards are overburdened. And the number 1 trend here, funny enough, is burnout is present, even before some projects have launched. You know, some of the things we heard, burnout, feeling of scarcity, too much for me to do, not enough time, energetic sustainability of core. So here's the executive summary is that y'all are naming collapse symptoms, burnout, control, scarcity, but not a lot of people name exactly what's causing them, which makes me super excited because that's why I'm here. By the way, remember these top 5 collapse patterns? Any of those look familiar now that we've kind of, right? So yeah. So here's an uncomfortable number. Many of us have heard like horrible numbers about how hard it is for startups, you know, the failure rate of startups in business. The uncomfortable number that we've come through to see is that up to 90% of intentional communities and New Earth projects never make it past the planning phase. And this is slightly worse than business startups, which is quite a feat to accomplish because it's horrible out there. It's hard for a lot of startups, you know, especially when they don't have the support. And even spiritually aligned groups fall apart, not because their visions are wrong, but because of ambiguity, conflict, power struggles, and emotional strain. So yeah. So, and again, I just want to be clear. We're not blaming anybody here. Like, this is just human. We're all in this together. We're all trying to figure this thing out. And this is just a result of a missing system. So here's the simple truth about systems. Mission statements, heart-led leaders, great. It's fantastic. But they don't govern the behavior of the people we're working with. Well-crafted systems do. Well-crafted systems. And they don't have to be masculine systems and so rigid like, imagine if, we'll get into it. I don't want to blow it, but yeah. Because under pressure, everything reverts back to the structure. So this is why systems really matter now, because these new Earth projects are exploding. I mean, the amount of times I see regenerative in everybody's prezzies these days is just, it's like we're all doing it. We're all getting the download. And still, there's a lot of stalls, there's a lot of missteps, and we can prevent these things if we all come into coherence with something that can bring us together, some uniting force. And the thing that is that uniting force is the missing measuring stick, right? Like, who's heard, if you can't manage it, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. It's kind of true. So most projects I see are lacking a standard operating system. And without a standard, everything sounds aligned, but nothing really is accountable. And, with this languaging, but lack of measurement, like we have to make it up. We have to literally let's make pretend. Raise your hand if you remember your parents or somebody in middle school giving you that manual that says the complete guide to harmonious relationships with self and others. Thank you. Please give me a copy. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Ooh, see? That's what I didn't get. Yeah. Please do. Yeah, because, without that, we just have to make it up, make messy pancakes, trip over ourselves, screw up, until we get it right. And guess what? We're all doing it in silos. We're all doing the same thing at the same time. And I know this because you told me, you told all of us. You're all doing the same thing at the same time. No matter where you're at in your startup, no matter how big your project is, no matter how many people on your team, we're all just kind of failing in synchronicity in rising in this curve. What happens if we don't have to do that? So, exercise 1. Where are we making it up? You guys ready to do some stuff? Yeah? Yes. Get together? Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Everybody rise up here. Just kind of stand up here. It's your invitation. And I want you to walk around the room real quick and find somebody who's wearing the same colors as you. And that's going to become your partner. Just 2 people. Just find a quick partner. Whoever's wearing the same colors as you. If you don't have, if you're naked, you can come hang out with me. Whatever the case is. And when you find that partner, feel free to take a seat. Find a little spot. You can have a little conversation, a little 3-minute conversation. So go find a nice little quiet corner with that beautiful person who's wearing something like you are. And we're going to get into it. So here's how this is going to work. Once you find your seat, one of you guys just decide who wants to go and speak first, Maybe it's the person with the shortest hair, And I'm going to ask you, I have 2 prompts here up on the screen. I'm going to read them off to you real quick. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, right? And actually, yeah. So what's going to happen is the speaker's going to have 2 minutes. The first thing you're going to talk about, actually, I'll tell you, we'll break it out in 1 minute each. We'll do 1 minute each. So for this first minute, raise your hand if you're the speaker. Speakers? Yeah? Okay, cool. Speaker, here is your prompt. Where in your project are you improvising structure instead of relying on a clear system? Let me repeat it. Where in your project are you improvising structure instead of relying on a clear system? And it doesn't matter where you're at in your project. You can be in startup, but where are you just making it up? Give yourself 1 minute. Do you have time?
I can check.
Thank you so much. Give yourself 1 minute on the clock here. We're going to start. And listeners, your job is to actually listen. Actually listen, because what you're going to do is after this 1 minute, you're going to have 1 minute to reflect what you heard. Try not to add anything. Try to just kind of use their words. Do what you can to just really listen and make that person feel witnessed. And then at the end of this, we'll switch up. Okay, here we go. 3. Again, the question is, where in your project Are you improvising structure instead of relying on a clear system? 3, 2, 1, begin.
There.
Is it fun?
It's great.
Everybody having fun?
Awesome.
Let's have some fucking fun, man.
You're a boss.
Aggressive, I think.
Probably about 30 seconds or so, 30 seconds. All right, let's wrap it up. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and complete. All right. Whew. Look at your partner. Just take a big fat breath. Whew. Yeah. Okay. Listeners, when we count it down, you can have 1 minute to reflect back exactly what you heard in your view. Exactly what you heard. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Begin. We're about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Ten seconds. Oh, am I? Okay. Thank you, brother. This one's off. Thank you, brother. Check, 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 to check, check, to check, 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 check. All right, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, all right, and complete. All right, stay with your partner, stay with your partner. Everybody just look at your partner. Just share a beautiful breath of gratitude. Here we go. All right. Now we're going to switch roles. We're going to switch roles. Listener becomes a speaker. Speaker becomes a listener. And speakers, I'm going to remind you of the prompt. And the prompt is, where in your project are you improvising structure instead of relying on a clear system? 3, 2, 1, begin. Dude, you made it. Yo, you're amazing. Yeah, no, perfect. No, I just went through the, hey, here's the problem. So you're here for the good stuff.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're here for the good stuff. I just went through like everybody's surveys, responses, and like tied it into the presentation. Like, here's all the things we're hearing. We're gonna talk about it. So,
Okay, awesome.
you got this. About 30 seconds. Good morning, Leah. How are you, love? It's good to see you. That was fun playing music last night, huh? I love singing for you. Maybe I can sing for you again today, huh? It was amazing. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. About 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1, complete. Whew. All right, let's bring it down to silence. Wrapping it up. Let's take a shared breath with our partners again. Breathe it in. Let it out. Oh, one more time, that felt good. Breathe it in. Oh, let it out. Whew. All right. Listeners, it's your turn. 1 minute on the clock. The goal is to try to reflect exactly what you heard from your partner. Let's begin it in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
actually enjoying once it's there.
Yes. About 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and complete. Thank you, thank you. Let's take one more beautiful breath with our partner. Everybody breathe it in. Oh, let it out. Oh. Thank you, everyone. All right, when you're ready, let's get back onto our seats. Let's take a seat. Let's move it on to the next phase. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming. That's so cool. You having fun? I'm having fun. It's great. We actually changed it for you. We actually, it was a factor. I was like, seriously, I'm not just, yeah. All right, everybody ready to go? Here we go. So I'm curious. Just a little popcorn style. Does anybody have anything that they either said or heard without naming names that sounds interesting? Anybody? Yeah, just curious. Did anybody hear or say anything that they found interesting? Yeah, Lexi, go for it. Popcorn it.
Yeah, what I find interesting to look at, and I want to look at that deeper for myself, but it was reflected in my partner, is to actually listen to the reason of why the systems are not there. Like, what is keeping us from applying or looking for these systems? What's the resistance?
What's the resistance? Yes, it's so good. Yes, Jenna.
I can tag on to that, and it's what's the cost? So there's decision fatigue and drain of energy and lack of clarity and lack of even sort of predictability. And there's a sense of safety and predictability.
Yeah.
That's the cost of not having structures.
Comforts, yeah, safety, security. Yes, Tanya.
I feel like I can easily begin to turn to people's central joy until I'm extremely clear about how this whole thing is structured.
That's so powerful. Thank you for saying that. Yes.
What I heard was there's a pretty good level of success even without the structures, and there's a lot of potential. Which means there's a lot of potential when bringing this the new operating system.
Yeah, with coherence, right? If you can do this much without, what else is possible? Brother, you had something.
Yeah, what I heard is that, like the difference between systems that are needed for human dynamics and our relationships and the systems for operations.
Yes.
How priority has the human dynamics.
Yeah. How to find that balance between human and operations, right? Yeah. It's a challenge. If we known it, we'd be doing it by now. Yes.
I also heard that there's sort of a difference also in having systems, but then yet are they like a metronome? Are they really happening? Maybe you could say
softens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there can be stages within having systems.
Yeah, it's like when you're traveling, you ever eat junk food. Oh, I'm at the airport. I'm gonna get this Cinnabon. Yeah. Go ahead. I do that thing.
Having the systems and the roles, responsibilities, but not feeling like there's the actual authority that goes with it.
Yes, yeah. So having systems and roles, but not having the authorities to go along with it. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. It's great. Okay, perfect. All right, well, I'm gonna invite you all. First off, thank you so much for that beautiful exercise. It's so great to see you guys working together. I'm gonna invite you guys, if you're into it, to close your eyes, soften your gauge, come back, rock back in your little seat bones here. And we're gonna do, this next little piece is something that I love to do because I like to manifest in childlike wonder, There's a couple words that really get everybody's attention, and it taps into our childhood. First one is, once upon a time. So everybody just kind of goes like this, because we're waiting for the story. And the other one is, let's make pretend. Let's make pretend. So close your eyes. And just imagine this with me for a moment. Think about all the things that you've shared so far. And I want you to imagine that the problems you keep running into in your project are not because you're doing something wrong. Just imagine that for a moment. And imagine that they're not because you're not conscious enough, or not spiritual enough, or not committed enough, or just not enough. Just imagine that wasn't the case. Because it's not. And I want you to imagine that there was an answer to all the things that you've shared here so far. There's an answer to all of these things. I just want you to imagine that. And the answer did not depend on you holding everything together. Imagine you weren't the glue that had to do all the things. Imagine what it would feel like if all the decisions around you were clear. How would that feel in your body? If roles were obvious, unmistakable, how would that feel? If responsibility was shared instead of silently carried by a few, what would that look like for your project? To have help, to not carry it all. Imagine not having to guess who should do what, who has the authority, or how conflict is supposed to be handled. Imagine that. If you just had those answers. Imagine not having to invent structure in the middle of a crisis. What would that feel like? Imagine a system that already knows how to hold pressure without sacrificing people. And imagine waking up inside a project where purpose actually guides decisions, where power is visible and temporary, and where you don't have to fragment yourself to belong. Keeping your eyes closed, just take one more breath in with me. Deep breath in. Let it out. And if that imagination, whatever image you thought, brought you some small sense of relief, feel free to open your eyes. There you are. I see you. 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 What you just imagined is already defined as a standard. It has a name. It actually has a name. And it's not something that we have to invent. It's called evolutionary teal. Evolutionary teal is that standard. I ask kindly of you, if you've heard of evolutionary teal before, please raise your hand. Wow. Okay, 3 people. They're all my friends. They're the co-facilitators. Oops. Shock. Well, all right, cool. This is great. All right. This is like Will's thing last night. Like, oh, nobody knows what they're doing. Great, cool. Let's do this thing. I'm exactly here in the right room. All right, well, what is evolutionary teal? Evolutionary teal is a documented stage of human organizational development that describes what a system can reliably do under complexity without reverting to control, chaos, or burnout. It's been around for a while. It's been around for a while. What I'm about to show you, if I had to do nothing but just give you something and keep walking, it's this next slide. This next slide, as an organization and systems geek for many, many years, has changed my whole entire perspective. This next slide illustrates something from a book called Reinventing Organizations with Frederick Laloux. I'm not a big reader. I'd rather write books than read them. It's weird, right? But this one book here changed my whole entire geekdom. It changed everything. And this next slide, I'm going to show you that entire book in one slide. You ready for this? Check this out. This is the missing map, y'all. Yeah, wow. Wow, right? This entire book. This map was actually done, I have full credits on the slides. This was done by another evolution. There's not a lot of evolutionary teal consultants in the world, turns out. You know, I'm one of the few. And this was by another group in Budapest who put this beautiful thing together because they beat me to it. And I want to give them full credit. It's all Creative Commons 4.0. You can take this, share this with your organization as well with full attribution. But what I want to show you is this. Let me see if I can zoom in on this thing here. There we go. Okay, so I'm not going to get into it. I can literally spend the rest of the presentation on this, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to give you all a copy of this, by the way, in a portal that we'll share towards the end of the lab here. But what I want you to just take a look at is all these pretty colors. You see those pretty colors? All those colors represent a different stage of human evolution when it comes to organization. This is the way that we've always behaved, all the time. And there's been different levels to it. And I'm going to play a little video here in a moment to kind of illustrate the walkthrough of that. But essentially, it starts with... It's good? Okay. Yeah, it starts with impulsive red. They basically color code these stages to kind of give us some sort of sense as knowing where we're at, right? And we're going to go into these a little bit here. It's not going to be a full dissertation, but we're definitely going to break into it. And what you see around the edge of the circle, learning development, conflicts, meeting, organization structure, flow of informational communication, resource efficiency, money. These are all the things we got to manage. All of us have to manage these things. Well, we don't have to, but we get to. We choose to, right? How can we do it better? Well, no matter what you're doing, it's in this. It is in this circle. Whatever you're doing is in this circle. This evolutionary teal concept is amazing. So I'll skip through because like I said, I'll geek out on this thing all day long. But essentially the way it works is for every line throughout every color stage, you're going to see like I value. So if in the red, which is really impulsive and survival mode, I value the initiator. You know, trust in the red is I trust the stronger. It's very dominant. You know, and as you go out, you know, there's amber and there's orange and there's green. We're going to get into it. So just keep it. Just remember that this is a resource for you as we get to the end of this here. And this map isn't a status ladder. It's like, oh, I'm orange and you're green, and it's not that. You know, it's just it's a diagnostic tool. It's a way to find out where we're at in our organizations and what we can do better. That's it. Simple. So to know where we're going, we have to kind of remember how we got there. So this is just a little summary of what's been happening here lately.
For most of human history, about 95% of it, there was no money, no capitalism, no billionaires, no debt. Humans didn't exist to outcompete each other. We existed to survive together on a planet that actually provided what we needed: food, shelter, care, community. The Earth wasn't a resource, it was the source. Then trade complicated everything. At first it was simple. You had eggs, I had vegetables. We exchanged. But what happens when my lose their time. The middle class loses their mind chasing stability. The rich lose their soul chasing more. You're told success is money, cars, houses, status, but you can't take any of it with you. You die and it stays here. That's the scam. We traded connection for competition, life for productivity, meaning for metrics. And don't call this freedom. If you have to sell your life to survive, that's not freedom. Here's the real question. If money didn't exist, if survival wasn't conditional, what would you do with your life? Because until we redefine success as sustainability, balance, and contribution, this system will keep consuming everything, including us.
Including us. Whew. Yeah, it's heavy. I know it's heavy. It's necessary. It's heavy because what we're going to do next is we're going to go through how we've behaved throughout that whole entire lineage. So red, you guys remember the little circle in the middle? So the color stage of red describes not just how we began with this whole, as soon as the land thing started becoming claimed, it also begins in the way that we approach our projects. You know, it's a very survival mode thing, right? Like, and I'm not saying any of these are bad. I'm just saying that they're different from each other, and they all serve a different purpose. So red sounds horrible, you know, because some examples. So red is power by force, right? Red shows up whenever stability collapses. Some examples: kingdoms, militias, some early stage survival startups. With that chaotic founder dominance, like, this is going to be this way, all right, you do that. Yeah, I've seen these people. I might have been one of these people. Yeah, and it's the survival trap. Because what happens is you see the power struggles between the founders, because it's the dominant. Whoever's, I'm got more force, I got more equity, I have more things, right? I got more nuts and sticks, whatever. Hidden dominance games is what we see in red. Emotional volatility tearing trust apart, and people feeling unsafe, unheard, and controlled. So it's not just kingdoms and militias, it's the way we organize. Now, if we were on a small boat, you know, and there was 2 or 3 or 4 of us, and somebody had marine experience and this and that, and it crashed, you know, red comes in handy, like, all right, everybody, listen, we're gonna die if we don't do this thing right, so I need you to get some wood. You go get the thing, you find some water, you know? It's great, until it's not. So that's what red's all about. After red came, out of red came amber. This was the next phase of organizational development for humans. And the amber stage is power by rule. We rule. This shows up in military institutions, government bureaucracies, police forces, I know. Yeah, in the public school system, you know? It's the reason why you see public school system looking like jails, you know? It's all power by rule. And it's the rigidity trap, right? It's overstructuring too early, you know? A lot of paramilitary or military people, when we come out into the business world, you know, we're taught this rigid structure, so we try to do it here and we fail all the time. Rigid roles that don't fit the evolving project, you know? Well, this is the way it's always been mentality. Anybody ever hear that before? This is, well, we're not doing it because this is the way it's always been. Like, yeah. And gatekeeping. Gatekeeping, moral policing, purity culture. This is all amber. This is all an amber phase of human organizational development. Bless you. And then the next thing, this is what the world's running on now, the old world, as it were. This is as far as the old world has got. This is as far as they've got, right? And this is power by outcomes, performance. You know, make money, produce, go get. There's a reason why, you know, the old world worships people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, because they have more nuts in their bin than their other people, and you know, they collected more things, and they can survive longer because they have more things, right? And this is the achievement trap. We see this in most modern corporations, pre-Teal evolution tech companies. Startups, a lot of startups, it's all about money. So this is orange. This is what we're all coming out of right now, generally speaking. How many people worked in the orange paradigm? Pretty much everybody. Yeah, okay. So this is the achievement trap. And what we see is overemphasis on productivity. You know, make, do, performance, growth, financial output. All great things. We need them. But where's the balance in that? Burnout from treating community like a startup. See this a lot. Ego-driven leadership, metric-obsessed decision-making. KPIs are great, but it's not the whole story. There's people, fill in roles. And losing the heart of the project, that's what we see in orange. So this is what a lot of us have become disillusioned with, is corporate culture. Perform, achieve. So we did something else. We all came together, and we started to get into a green movement. Anybody remember the green? This is what you might have heard. Have you ever heard of green organizations back in the early aughts or so? No? Gosh, yeah, thank you, one. Okay. Woo, I've been around for a while. Green is power by belonging. This is where most of the projects are that we know. This is where if you're not in an orange paradigm, you're probably in this green paradigm. And this is intentional communities. This is consensus-based eco-villages, right? Worker co-ops, conscious leadership groups, most spiritual wellness-based organizations are on a green paradigm. And this is the consensus trap. The consensus trap. And it looks like this: endless meetings with no decisions, harmony seeking that covers up real conflict, emotional overload and subtle power games, everyone must agree or paralysis, and difficulty holding boundaries. I know I've struggled with boundaries. I used to be a big people pleaser. I still fight it, This is what green runs off of, is people pleasing and a lot of overgiving and all these things. I know because I'm doing it, and apparently a lot of us are here in this room too. Well, what's next? Evolutionary teal. Here's what it's all about. This is the one, kids. This is what we've all been waiting for. And Will said something great last night. Look, if somebody comes and promises, that they have all the answers, maybe be a little suspect. I'm not claiming any of these things. We're just making all this up. But this paradigm has been around for a while. We just haven't heard of it yet. It's almost like it's been suppressed. It's almost like they don't want us to know that there's an answer to all these things. It's almost like they want to keep us in this repeating pattern of trauma operations, right? Examples: sociocratic eco-villages. We heard sociology. We heard, thank you, sociocracy, holacracy, co-op models, things of that nature. Conscious regenerative enterprises, some blockchain and DAO projects, the healthier ones. Thank you guys very much for that. Community-led regenerative land projects, and high maturity healing or learning communities. Why Teal matters now? Because Teal is the first stage of human organizational development that's capable of holding the complexities without reverting to control. Burnout and chaos, as we know, are those top 5 reasons why these types of projects fail. So this is not a belief system. I'm not just making it up, I promise. It's not a spiritual branding. It's an observed state of organizational development documented across many real organizations. You might have heard of organizations like Zappos and Patagonia and things like that. And it describes what works under complexity. It comes from decades of organizational development research. It's been synthesized all over the planet, but yet only the facilitators have heard about it. Why is that? It's so weird. You too, yeah, thank you. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with ideology or spirituality. In fact, here are the sources. I'm not gonna read this off, that's crazy, right? Anybody hear about spiral dynamics? Okay, spiral dynamics was built off of Claire W. Graves' work back in 1970, little things that she made called Levels of Existence, an Open System of Theories and Values, from the Journal of Humanistic Psychology, 1970s. That's when this was first introduced. That was 2 years before I was born. And some people think I might be an elder around here, so it's been around for a while, right? And then a whole bunch of other people. So, here's my question, popcorn style. What is required for a project to be considered regenerative or new earth? Fire it out there. Yes?
Steward-led.
Say?
Steward-led.
Yes, steward-led. Absolutely, steward-led. Yeah, I love that. Who else? What else required to be regenerative or new earth?
Not extractive.
Not extractive, yes.
The healing of land and people.
Healing of land and people, yes.
Compost toilets.
Compost toilets, yes.
Next
Next generation, Tani. Yes, yeah. Cuddle puddles. Cuddle puddles. I'm all about the cuddle puddles. Come see us afterwards. Shane. Sustainability.
That their sacred reciprocity.
Sacred reciprocity, Joanne.
I would go beyond sustainability because it's not sustaining, it's actually wanting to regenerate.
Regenerate above sustains. Yeah, sustainability. You know, sustainability is great. I wonder if it's a psyops, because if you're in survival mode, we need to sustain survival mode. You know, it's interesting. But if we regenerate, like the soil, with Byron's work here, that means that we're making something new and rising it to a higher level, right? So yeah, that's a really good point. Sir?
Flywheel, I mean, something to financially sustain itself.
Yes, a circular economy, a flywheel, right, Dove? Like, yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
Considering the other than human needs.
Yeah, considering other human needs. Yes. Other than human needs, like all the animals, all the things. Yeah, absolutely, the earth.
In harmony with nature, but also replicating nature, like planting one seed brings like thousands.
In harmony with nature and also replicating nature. Yes, you know why this is so amazing? Because evolutionary teal is built just like nature. It's built just like out there. I want everybody to just turn around real quick and just look out in the woods real quick. Not the people, not the structures, but just the woods, all right? Who's in charge out there? Show me the leader. Show me the CEO. Maybe it's Buddha. I don't know. You know, does it look like it's working? But there's no one leader. Where's the one leader? Where's the board of directors of the woods? Let's go to the river, see if we can find the rain. It's the rain, right? Let's see if we can find the committee of the rain, right? So how does it work? How does nature work? Why does it work out there, but we can't figure it out? It's a good question. All right, so we said a lot. I'm gonna offer a 3-minute bio break, just in place. Try to stay local, really keep it down to 3 minutes, but get up and stretch out and just shake it out. A lot of information here. Unless you got a cuddle puddle going, feel free, just continue on. No worries. Evolutionary teal. And when we come back, I'm going to give you guys the 3 core requirements of evolutionary teal for your projects. How we doing? Is it working? Is it okay?
It looks amazing, yeah.
Oh man, it's, you know, standards. What if we all had a standard? You know, that's the thing is like, I didn't know about this until I knew about it. I couldn't believe that I never heard about this. This is like 10 years ago. My introduction to this sort of self-organized thing was I met a gentleman named Brian Robinson when I was hanging out in Austin. Brian Robinson's the guy that invented holacracy. Now, we're a little at odds now because he kind of brought holacracy back into the pyramid, but it was a big, huge inspiration for me. Yet, I saw that with holacracy and sociocracy, they were great systems, and you're going to love what you're going to see. You and I, what we've done is we've basically created this project called Conscious Collective Operating System. I'm not going to talk about it up here much, but essentially it's the best of holacracy and sociocracy and the co-op business model all merged into one with emotional, relational intelligence and a cultural framework, right? So it's all the things that worked great for those things, but none of the things that fell through because we don't have to take guesses anymore. We actually have the data to find out where sociocracy and holacracy fell off. And we can do something about it. How do we take the best of those things and make it into something good? That's what we're talking about here today. But this is where it begins, is a standard. How can we all get on the same page? Because as a cosmic unifier, it's my job to try to bring everybody together. And it is hard. It is hard, you know? So this standards make it easier. So excited. Oh my God, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did I get through business without knowing any? If I knew this, man, it would have been so dangerous back in the corporate world. Like, nobody's in charge anymore. You know?
What's funny, Brian? You appreciate this. The U.S. government is the boogeyman communism they tell us about.
I know. Dude, it's upside down world. Freedom is like, we're the ones that are suppressed. And when you step outside of it, you can see it, but when you're in it, it's a blind spot. You know?
They're like, oh, we're fighting communism. It's like, what is communism? Well, there's a hierarchy. You're told what to do.
Yeah.
Your job.
You're forced into this. And, yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is a monopoly? Like, what the hell's going on? All right, we got 1 minute. Come on back, everybody. 1 minute. We're going to get it going. We're going to keep it moving. 1 minute. Shane, I haven't presented in a while, man. This is fun. I forgot how fun this was. I just got done writing a book, so I've just been like crunching it, you know, like 10, 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, just like in the creation station. But being out here, dude, is so much fun. Connecting with people, learning and listening, and yeah, dude, it lights me up. I don't know.
I love to reflect something I see in this later.
Please, yes, please. I am open for all of this because I'm learning too. Like I'm in the middle of it. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Okay. All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. The secret is if you say welcome back, everybody kind of, you know. All right, here we go. So the next thing we're talking about is, can you tell I used to be a dad? All right, kids, come on, get in the car. Or who wants candy? All right.
I have
Cacao. Ooh. Tara has cacao. Meow, meow, cacao. I'll take some cacao. Meow, meow. Okay. Is everybody pretty much back? Anybody left in the bathroom?
one each. I don't think
Gracias.
there's enough for one each.
Oh my God. Thank you, brother. Oh my God. Okay. All right. We're going to get into the important stuff. The important stuff. Is anybody having fun? Is this useful? Yeah? Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, Dove's back. Here we go. After I chew this cacao. Really, like, takes all your... Okay. Before the break, we left off with, what's required for a project to be considered regenerative or new worth? Great answers, everybody. Thank you. Round of applause for yourselves. And I want to offer another level of clarity to everything that we said. And I'm not making it up. This is just what we find in evolutionary Teal principles. And it's this. Evolutionary Teal has 3 non-negotiable components to it. Do we got is Reiki here? Are we missing one?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Cuddle puddle. I should know where to find you. All right. So we have 3 non-negotiables. The first one, evolutionary purpose. If you hang out with me, you're going to be sick of hearing that phrase. Why? Well, because everything in evolutionary Teal, if we want to fix these problems, starts with a well-structured evolutionary regenerative purpose statement. I know that sounds like weak sauce, because like in the corporate, like, you need to make your mission statement, you need to make your, you know. Yeah, this is different. This is something that is such a powerful force, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but evolutionary purpose is 1. 2 is self-management. 3 is wholeness. All right? We're going to go over each one of these and just really dig a little bit on what those mean, but all 3 of these need to be present. 2 out of 3 doesn't pass. You know, you don't get a C, you know, when it comes to like really showing up for evolutionary purpose and evolutionary Teal. And doing it in spirit just isn't enough. You know, it gets loose. So what is evolutionary purpose? Purpose is not a vision statement. It's not. It's just not. Purpose is not owned by the founders. It's not. It's not about the founders. It's not. Nope, it's not. Purpose actively governs decisions. Right? Thank you, brother. Purpose creates and dissolves roles. Okay, nobody looks scared. Okay, cool. All right, good. Okay. And purpose evolves over time. It's alive. It's alive. Okay? One of the things about purpose is, one of the things I come up against a lot, you know, being a cosmic unifier, trying to bring all these little pieces together and be a part of this team of just growing people, is founder ego. I have it. Founder ego, and it goes like this. Oh my gosh, I gave up so much for this. Like, I've thrown away my whole entire life to be in this moment with this purpose and this thing, and I'll be darned if I'm going to let anybody come through and screw this thing up. I've been working on it so hard. Well, that's what purpose does. It allows the founding team to put in their visions, to put in their values, and then step away. Imagine if it would just, if you could form something magical and walk away and it just worked. Doesn't sound possible, does it? This is evolutionary Teal. Because the bottom line is, if purpose doesn't decide, people will. And as we've seen in our responses, and as we've seen in the top 5 reasons, we can use a little bit of help as humanity when it comes to making decisions and so forth. So evolutionary purpose number 1. Room quotes that back this up. I need to get more clarity. Thank you, person. I'm not going to look at you. A repeating cycle of doubt that arises during moments of uncertainty. This is what somebody said. A repeating cycle of doubt. I need to get better at delegating and building a coherent team. This is all run by purpose. Purpose is the one that makes all of that happen in evolutionary Teal. Number 2, self-management. You can't get away from this one. Self-management is such an amazing part of regenerative businessing because the authority lives in roles, not personalities. What you do is not who you are. I'm the director of first impressions. Yeah, it's me. You got a first impression? That's me. I'm it, right? I'm not that. I might fill that role, but it's not who I am. We allow ourselves to separate ourselves with self-management from what we do. And I can take more than one role. And you know why I can take more than one role? Because all the roles designed by purpose are balanced. So if I want to be an overperformer, I could actually take on 2 or 3 roles because they're all balanced. The power is not, it doesn't look like this. It's not a triangle, right? Clear domains and decision rights. Yeah, we can actually, if we intelligently design these things, we can actually step away with purpose, knowing that purpose has all of our founder values in there. And with clear domains, we can actually assign decision rights so people can make decisions on their own without affecting negatively anybody else through like a really simple process. It's true. No permission-seeking hierarchy. Hey, you know what? I can save ourselves millions of dollars, but Brad, I'm waiting for Brad to come back from Cancun because he's got the keys to the safe or whatever the case is, right? No more of that. You don't have to. No informal shadow hierarchy. And the other side of that is flat. Like if you have no organizational structure, that's not self-managing. And vague is not decentralized, as the DAOs found out back in the day. Here's some of the things we heard about self-management and what can happen from that, right? So, or not having it. Conflict around decisions and common communication frameworks. Designing systems at work, creating a type of routine or coherence. Too much for me to do, not enough time. These are all symptoms of us taking on too much, or not having clearly defined roles, or not having performance ways to manage and see what everybody else is doing very transparently, so we have to keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. And the last thing, the third part to be regenerative is wholeness. That means that people don't fragment to belong. You don't have to violate your own consent to show up for work every day in a Teal evolution-aligned organization. Reality can be spoken without punishment. There's punishment-free containers, conflicts built in to this thing. It's okay. It's going to happen. It's okay. And you're not going to get punished for speaking up in an evolutionary Teal-aligned organization. Emotional labor is not invisible either. And conflict is expected, not avoided, like we just said. If people self-silence, wholeness is missing. If you don't think that you can say anything to anybody in your project or organization, it's because you're missing wholeness. It's not because people are bad. It's just wholeness is not present, okay? Some of the things we heard about that. Not being clear on my contributions. Not feeling a place of respect. I feel that one too sometimes, back in the day, for sure. So, here's exercise number 2. You guys want to get up and walk around a little bit with me? Walk around a little bit? You want to step it out? I know, it's almost like church. Stand, sit, kneel, stand, sit. All right. Let's see. Walk around, and I'm just gonna go da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. And when I say, when you hear the music stop, the first person you lock eyes with, that's gonna be your partner for this one. I don't and stop. First person you see, just go right over to him. Don't even question it. Just get right into it. Perfecto, perfecto. Okay. Welcome your partner. You know, you guys are about to go on a little journey together. Super cool. We have one person. Does anybody not have a partner? Hey, we got Danny Bo right over here. Dove? Yeah, there we go. Oh, you got a good one, both of you. Okay, here's what we're going to do this time. We're going to do the speaker-listener thing again, 1 minute each, okay? Feel free to find a spot, by the way, yeah? Find a nice little comfy something. Anywhere you can hear my voice is fine. Give you a couple of seconds to get settled in there. Okay. We're going to take a little time on this one. We're going to do 1 minute each on these. Speaker, listener, speaker, listener. Speaker's going to go twice, but the first one we're just going to give a minute here. And I'm going to give you, speakers, raise your hand, make a decision. Who wants to be a speaker? Raise your hand. Make sure everybody's got a speaker designated. Yeah. Speaker. Everybody knows who's speaking, right? Okay, here we go. Speaker, I'm going to give you this prompt. Listener, same thing. You're just going to repeat what's alive for that speaker at the end. So we're going to give you 1 minute each side. And the first prompt is this. What emotional, relational, or leadership weight are you carrying that was never clearly assigned to you? What emotional, relational, and leadership weight are you carrying right now that wasn't assigned to you? Listeners, listen up. We're going to reflect it back. We're going to start for 1 minute on the clock in 3, 2, 1. What emotional, relational, or leadership weight are you carrying that was never clearly assigned? Go. We're about at 30 seconds. All right, let's wrap it down about 10 seconds here. Let's come to a close on your points. Okay, listeners, you're almost up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and close. All right, everybody take a deep breath with me. Let it out. Take one more deep breath with me. Be loud and let it out. Ooh, yeah, that feels good. Okay. Listeners, 1 minute on the clock. Reflect back what they said. In 3, 2, 1, begin. About 30 seconds. Let's wrap it in about 10 seconds, listeners. All right, in 3, 2, 1, and complete. Whew. All right, let's take a deep breath in together. Here we go. Let it out with gratitude, being witnessed and heard. Ah, thank you, listeners. Thank you, listeners. Okay. All right. Same speaker, same listener. Here's the second part of the question. 1 minute on the clock, same thing. Different question. Here we go. The question is, what are you silently compensating for in your role right now? What are you silently compensating for in your life right now? What are you silently compensating for? Think on that for a second. And we're going to go ahead 1 minute on the clock. Same speaker, same listener. 3.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, can you phrase that?
Yes. So the first part is, what emotional, relational, leadership weight are you carrying that was clearly never assigned? And the second part of it is there anything that you're silently compensating for? Is there something in your project that you know is broken and you're the one that's just holding the glue? Thank you for the clarification. Is there something that you're gluing together? I guess that may be a better way to ask it. What are you silently compensating for your project that maybe people don't know you're holding? Yeah? All right. Let's do 1 minute on the clock. 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, about 20 seconds. All right, let's bring it to a close in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and complete. All right. All right, wrapping it up. Everybody take a nice big fat deep breath with me. Breathe it in. Let it out. Oh. All right. We're going to switch roles here. Speakers are going to become the listeners. We're going to do this again. I'm just going to switch it around. Same questions, different roles.
We're not reflecting back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. The reflection. Thank you so much. I was getting looks. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm messing up. Yes, please. 1 minute on the clock. Listeners, please do the honor and bear witness to your beautiful partners and share a reflection on 3, 2, 1. What did they say to you? Begin. You're beautiful. It'd be a crime not to.
Yes, it totally is.
Hello. Welcome. About 30 seconds. Listeners? 8, 7, 6. Thank you, listeners. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and close. Ooh. All right. Just take a moment and thank your partners. Isn't it so beautiful to be witnessed, and listened to, and reflected back to? Isn't it nice to be able to talk about the things we just can't talk about outside of some places, right? All right. Whew. Well, now it's time to flip the script. Now it's time to switch roles, okay? So, speakers, you are now the listeners. Listeners, you are the speakers. We know the drill. The first prompt goes just like this. What emotional, relational, or leadership weight are you carrying that was never clearly assigned to you? In 3, 2, 1 minute on the clock. 1, let's begin. We're about 30 seconds. Ten seconds out. Speakers. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and close. Complete. All right. Let's come back into ourselves. Let's come back into our breaths. Put your hand up if you can feel your body. Put your hand up if you can feel your body. Who can feel their body right now? Yeah, there we go. Almost everybody can feel their body. Okay, close enough. Good deal. All right, listeners, this is your time. This is your time for reflection. You are the sacred mirror. We need to hear and listen to each other in order to heal. So this is your time to reflect on what you heard in their words as much as you can. In 3, 2, 1 minute on the clock. 1, let's begin. Go ahead, listeners. About 30 seconds. About 15 seconds. All right, we're going to wind it down. Listeners, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and close. Thank you, listeners. Thank you so much. Whew. Whew. Let's take a little deep breath in together. Here we go. Let's honor each other with the breath, the breath of consciousness. Let's breathe it in. Let it out with gratitude for your partner. One more time. Let's breathe it in one more time. Let's come back into our bodies. Breathe it in. Let it out. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, speakers, it's your turn. You got one more round here. Here we go. Speakers, this is your prompt. Ask for clarification if you need to. What are you silently compensating for? What are you holding on to that nobody knows? What are you gluing together that nobody knows you're doing? What are you silently compensating for that people don't even know without you? If you were to disappear, what would be gone? What are you silently compensating for in your projects? If not your projects, your life. Talk about it all. We're going to talk about it for 1 minute in 3, 2, 1, begin, speakers. We're at about 30 seconds. 30 seconds on the clock. All right, here we go. 10, 9, speakers, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and complete. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Speakers, that was amazing. I heard some really good things out there. Let's take a deep breath in. Get present with each other. Here we go. Breathe it in. Let it out. Oh. One more time, breathe it in. Let it out. Speakers, prepared to be honored by your listener who's going to come back and reflect on you, the mirror, to show that you've been listened to show that you matter and you count and you showed up enough. 1 minute on the clock. Listeners, this is your time for reflection. 3, 2, 1, begin. I heard you say, 30 seconds. Listeners, 30 seconds. All right, we're coming down to 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and complete. Woo! All right. Take a moment of silence. Just really be in each other's presence and thank each other silently. How do you show your appreciation when we don't use our words in our hands? Just share all of that beautiful, beautiful appreciation with each other. All right, let's take a deep breath in. for gratitude and let it out for thankfulness. And when you're ready, I invite you to come back and take your seat so we can, I'm insanely curious what just happened here. Hey, what's going on over here? Oh, is there chocolate? What? Okay. Thank you, homie. Okay. All right, let's get into it, you guys. Come on in, get seated. Take a seat on your bum. Feel your feet on the floor. Make yourself as cozy as possible. Stretch out for a second. Ah. All right. Raise your hand. When you're comfy, just put your hand up and down real quick just so I know that you're comfy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who else is comfy? 5, 6, 7. Who else is comfy? 8, 9, cool. All right, looks like most of us are pretty comfy. How's the cuddle pal doing back there? Yummy? That's good? Okay. All right. Word. Perfect, yeah. On point. Thank you. Okay, well, I am wildly curious. I know this is a very vulnerable share, so I don't expect anybody to share more than what they want to share. But if there is any nuggets that you've heard without mentioning names, or if there's something that was said to you that reflects or opens something up to your field, I'd be curious. What's alive for you out there? Anybody hear anything? Yeah, go for it.